Hi guys.
Hello, lovely and cherished viewers. Yeah.
Wow.
We've missed you guys. Honestly, I've missed you guys. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Today you have me.
And myself.
And herself.
Yeah.
An interesting crossover. So I'll introduce myself and then you introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be good.
So I'm Earl and we are your hosts, but I'm your first host for tonight's session. Why am I here? Well, because Ima is indisponible.
Please, Kobe is not around.
Yeah, Kobe is not around for reasons unknown unto us. Maybe it's the topic. I'm not sure. It could be the topic.
It could be
the topic or the weather. It could be the weather as well.
And that one too.
Yeah. So I'm Earl.
And my name is Rafi Truth from Relationship Therapy.
Woo!
Your host, your hostess, or whatever you want to call me.
We are so excited.
Yeah.
Like she's a special host because of the topic we are talking about today.
Yes.
I'm excited to dive into it. Yeah.
Me too.
But before that, like, won't you make a comment about my lovely
You
son?
guys, tell me why it's past Christmas and this our gentleman is still wearing a Christmas sweater.
Is the temperature still not below summer temperatures?
Please, is that the only sweater you have?
No, please.
I believe he's one of those people that would never take down their Christmas tree.
Christmas is the whole year for me.
Year.
I actually started my Christmas on December 31st, so I have like.
So you're justified.
Yeah.
Please.
I hold on to the ashes of the past.
We are sorry, guys. So today we're here to talk about what ladies and men look for in a relationship, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me, I just want to start off by saying I'm not going to give expert knowledge. I'm going to give my perspective.
Exactly.
So that you don't come and kill me and crucify me on the internet that I know what I'm saying. All guys like this. No, please. But I do have some interesting information to share.
Indeed, we have something interesting to tell you guys. Remember, we are all sharing ideas. And it's lovely if you agree. If you don't agree, also share what you think.
Yeah.
Because we're all here to learn.
Comment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to let him take the lead because I feel like if both of us are talking, it's going to be like, but then we're going to host each other, right?
It's interesting you say you're going to let me take the lead because I feel like that's one thing guys look for.
No, it's true actually.
Is that true? Okay.
It's true.
Please don't crucify me, ladies. I beg you. I'm on
true.
your side. I beg you. Should we talk for each other's side or should we talk?
Yes, I think we should. Once in a while, we may, try to chip in something small for the FC gender. Because why not?
Yeah.
We're one family.
Yeah. Okay. So let's dive right in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to start with some statistics.
Okay.
Right? Because over here we deal with facts.
Nothing but
So
facts.
I'm gonna give you I think 2 surveys were done. One in the UK. A poll taken from about 2,000 UK adults,
Okay.
which was asking on the question of a number of questions really. One of the statistics that they found out was that half of millennials make out their relationship to be happier than it really is.
Hey.
And 42% use social media to actually give that impression of a perfect relationship. Right? This was a survey taken in 2018. Right? And another second thing they found out, interesting enough, was that this one is so interesting. 43% of men and 33% of women believe that if you have to work at a relationship, then you are not right for each other.
Oh, wow.
That is so interesting. I wonder why they think that way.
They don't want to work. They don't want to put in the work because I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, and I think it ties in with this one for today, which is what are people really looking for?
Yeah.
In relationships that they even think they don't have to work. Well, some people anyway.
I think maybe they're coming from the perspective of trying to say that if you have to force it, then it's not for you. If that's what they're trying to say, then maybe I kind of get them to a point. But if you mean if you have to put in the work for the relationship to work, then it's not worth it, then I think you are wrong.
So they are looking for automatic happiness.
Yes, but please, relationship is all about work. You have to ask and I have to agree.
People.
No, it's a fact. It's not manual labor, but you have to understand something that there must be an asking and there must be an acceptance.
So an agreement.
Exactly.
Right.
There's no relationship if he has not asked you out and if you've not accepted.
Hey,
That's unfair.
We'll get there. You take your time.
I mean, I just want you to know that before we even go into it. Don't get confused.
But can I share the other statistic?
Yes,
though?
please.
I think it's also interesting to note.
Okay.
So this one was done by some interesting researchers in Germany. Actually, this one is more recent, 2024.
We're global.
Yeah, we are global. We are very global. So the title of this study was "Today's Adolescents Are More Satisfied with Being Single." Findings from a German cohort sequential study among 14 to 40-year-olds, and this is what they found out. So interesting. It says that it finds that those who are aged 14 to 20 today, that's in 2024 at least, are more satisfied with being single than their counterparts were a decade ago. So Gen Zs are more satisfied with being single than my people, the millennials.
We are too busy, sir. Why would we be like that?
I wonder, is it because Gen Zs are more selfish? Anyway, let me finish. You I know you answer. You wait. Calm
No,
down.
but
calm
before
down,
then, I'm Gen Z. I'm not selfish, please.
Fair enough. I'm just giving my statistic, right?
Okay.
Guys, we can put the link in there. You can go and read it yourself. Don't say
Okay.
I'm cooking up figures. So it says adolescents born between 2001 and 2003 not only show a higher tendency to be single, but also exhibit greater contentment with their single status compared to those born 10 years earlier. Right. And the study was actually done based on certain motivations like declining marriage rates, rising divorce rates, and an increasing number of single person households.
Yeah.
So I suppose the idea is that like Gen Z or the current generation have different expectations that make them attracted to relationships as compared to the older generation. And I think that's what we're going to dive into today. Like, what are ladies and guys currently looking for in relationships?
That's why this is important.
You are the best person for this particular topic.
By grace. And we hope so. Okay. So we're going to I'm going to tell you guys what I believe, what I've come to believe, right?
Wow.
And I am a God girl. So before I say anything, I always go back to the Bible.
Wow.
And
the word of God.
I realized something because I wanted to come here and share my personal experience, right? Like come from the perspective of letting you guys know what I think and what I feel and everything. But then I needed support, so I went to the Bible for support instead of going to Wikipedia. So basically what I realized was that women, we need love. What we want in a relationship is a loving relationship.
A loving relationship.
Yes, a relationship that is filled with love. Don't. Therefore, there's care for me as a woman. The man takes care of me, listens to me, hears me when I speak, does not take advantage of my vulnerability.
Right. Is this your generation of women, or you're saying women in general?
Women in general.
In general.
Women in
so
general.
So including our mothers and...
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting to note.
I mean, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but if your dad or your uncle or anybody, any person a man calls the wife and says honey or darling and those sweet words, do you see the reaction of your mother or I
can't say I see it because we don't really hear a lot of
oh well, me, I used to see it because my dad calls my mom D.
Oh, okay.
And
what does D mean? Dear, darling, okay.
Dear. Okay. So instead of just choosing one, he uses everything, right? And she so appreciates it every time he says it.
Wow.
She also responds to the same vibe.
Wow.
Do you get? Anyways, please, you carry on. I don't want to.
Okay, so
take over.
You're saying what women in general, so not just even Gen Z or millennials, but even the boomers and all of that, baby boomers.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with it per se, especially because based on my observation and my experience, I'm not sure I saw a lot of over affection from the baby boomer generation, from the men anyways. But if I'm answering for the men, one thing I do know, which cuts across the generations, even amongst my peers, like I'm not speaking for every man, but my circle of men, and then even some books I've read, I know that the key or topmost thing that a man is looking for in a relationship, generally, at least a wise man, maybe, I don't know, generally is respect. And I think it was this book, I don't know if it's the 5 Love Languages or another book by Tim LaHaye, and he was like, a man interprets love from a woman through the experience of how she respects him. And I've seen this across generations, and I don't know if we can say this particular generation, the men are receiving that kind of respect. Well, I mean, there is misconception. There is what we say and what we show, and all that. There's one thing I agree with you for sure, which is a respect from all the generations. I mean, the ones before, the ones to come is still the same. Men want respect. And I always say that it is so because the Bible knew it and they already said it. They foretold what was yet to come. Ephesians 5 says it. Hey, preach.
Wives, respect your husbands, like reverence them.
Oish.
I actually wrote it down, like revere them, basically.
And some people will not be happy hearing that, but please carry on.
And it's the same thing when he says that husbands love your wife and care for them as you do your own body. Right. So that is why I was saying that I feel like people don't know this. As women, some people don't know it because they've not put a name to it, that they love to be loved. Like one thing they look for in a relationship with a guy is that they want to be loved. They want that the person's full attention is on them.
Right.
They want to be cared for. They want, like, everything that love encompasses is what a woman wants.
Hey, everything that love encompasses.
Yes. And like, really, we are complicated beings.
Okay.
We are as women.
Okay.
And so if you don't have love for us, you can't be with us.
So love endures complexity.
It does.
Please, I'm not saying it though. She said it too. She said you are complicated.
Guys, if you don't agree, put it in the comment section and let's see. But I believe that's it.
And men are rather simple. So
I'm not going to put it that way. People do say that, but I don't really think that's true
that's a different conversation. But if you say like everything love encompasses, there's a certain survey that is being done or that has been done before, which is it possible to love without money? And then, which begs the question, is money something that you say categorically women look for in a relationship?
It's money or love.
What can you love without money?
Family members.
Someone said, is it words that will eat?
Every human being needs money.
Okay.
That's the thing. I think this thing has gone on for far too long. When you say that women we love money. Who doesn't love money? Like, who doesn't like money? Who? Please. It's just that we want to be taken care of. Right. And we also like fixing things. I'm going to mention that as time goes on, but we are people that do enjoy what we have, what we own, and people like, splurging on us.
Ish.
And it's simply because we are them kind of people. Like, your mother, right? As mothers, you see how mothers are. They are caring. They take care of you all day. This is
fathers.
You have to treat them well. You have to treat them well.
Right.
And money is one of the things that could do that, or could be used to do that.
Okay.
So that is why it looks like that's all we know. But that's not all we know. There's more to us than money.
So I have two things to say, because I have a counter to that for the guys.
Okay.
But it begs the question, So are you stating here now, right, signed, sealed, and delivered, that when women are going into relationships, one of the things they are looking for now is money? And would you say it has always been so? Or is it now more pronounced than ever? Because you know, social media and flights to Dubai and all of that. Like the standards are now almost
women we want stability. What we want is not money. Money falls under stability.
I disagree. I think nowadays the ladies actually want a certain unrealistic what do you call it, experience of wealth. I mean, that men my age maybe unless you are doing something funny or you've inherited like a family heirloom or something, you cannot meet that standard. Do you get it? So is it an unrealistic standard to us?
It is. No, see, you guys are justified, right? And I understand you people. What I am trying to say is that you have built this thing in your minds for far too long, and because we have also made you believe it, because we actually live it that way, you guys have just like decided that is what is in your minds.
Okay.
So you have refused to see that is not just what we want, or that is not the primary thing. What we want is stability. Every woman wants stability. Right. So if we get a man that by the grace of God we can do life with, we can create a home with, we are happy.
Okay.
A man that knows what he wants, in turn knows what he wants for the relationship and with the relationship. So
are you looking for already made or potential, high potential with vision? Like, what would you say a woman, generally majority of women are like, will settle for now?
We don't want someone who does not know the direction they are going to. Okay. Not because we don't want to be there for the person, but that person is set in their ways, that they are not ready to be helped at all. Okay. Because every human being, like I'm talking about like every human being, it's not even just women, because we like separating it too much, so sometimes that brings a confusion. Nobody wants to be with someone who is set in their ways and their ways is wrong, but they've refused to be helped or be changed, right? So we want somebody who wants to be helped, who has the potential. Right. It doesn't always have to be ready. Like, the person doesn't always have to,
Okay. I think we might agree to disagree there, because I understand there are some women like that. Yeah. But I would say majority of women, maybe it's the illusion of social media anyway. Yeah. But on the same like topic or context, and I'll give a scenario. For instance, this is what I believe, and let's reason together with this scenario. Yeah. If a man, let's say a young man takes public transportation, and he meets a lady on it who is very interesting, and he gets to know it, and he has some interest in her, at least based on the conversation. Let's say he was going to work, closes work, and then a female colleague at his workplace drives a car and brings him home. Okay. Right? That's scenario, scene one. Scene two, we just switch the genders. A woman takes a public transport, a guy engages her, they have a nice conversation, and she's going to work or to school or whatever, and then her colleague drives her home after. If for these two people, right, the man and the lady, what I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I believe. For the man, if he's going to think about, I met two interesting ladies today, and I'm looking at who I would want to further get to know, the man will never consider the factor of the woman driving the car versus the woman taking public transport. But a woman would. A woman would definitely think
pink sheets.
Not only would the woman, the lady herself, look at that factor, even her mother would tell her that the guy with the car is the one you should be more interested in. So on that note, what I'm trying to say is that for a man, one thing he's not really looking for or a major factor that he's looking at when he's entering a relationship is the wealth status of a woman, at least before. Now it might be a bit different, I believe, because of just the economic state of the world now, where you need two earning members to sort of make a household.
Yeah.
But still, it's not necessarily a majority thing on a man's list
Okay.
as compared to a woman's list, I believe.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say something from this. So, a relationship from the beginning must be like the kingdom of God.
Okay.
The same principle. Intimacy oriented, family oriented, partnership oriented, each body doing their part, right? So there's a leader who gives himself for his beloved by loving her immensely and caring for her. Then that yields the beloved,
Right.
reverencing the person.
Right.
So we women, we are the reverencing here, right?
If you say so.
And the men are the leaders. Nobody ever wants to be led by someone who is confused or someone who does not know where they are headed to.
Fair. The scenario.
I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm coming there. I am coming there.
Okay.
So it is easier for a man to not care about those things because they are naturally the leaders. So they are going to lead. Eventually, they are the ones that are going to lead, whether the person is driving a car or the person that sits in the trusky, the public transport, the bus, whatever.
Okay, so you're saying that innately in a man, he always plays that role of provider and protector. But does the woman innately play the role of helper and follower?
Exactly. No, you see, for we as human beings, whether we want to admit or not, whether you think you are submissive, you are not, or what, that's how you've been made. Naturally, we think that okay, it's because we are independent or we are self-made or we know what we want. But it's simply because naturally we've been made in such a way that there's someone who is going to lead us in this life. Although we're going to do it with them, it's a partnership at the end of the day. But we've been made in such a way that we're going to be led. So naturally, we are always looking for the right person to lead us. We don't easily choose a leader. You can easily become a follower, but you can't easily become a leader, or you can't easily choose a leader for yourself. Right. And so we are very picky when it comes to those things, because whether we know it or not, that is what we are as women and who we are as women. We're always looking for the person that we are sure that can do this or can do that. That is it. Right. So that's why it's easier for the woman to want to go and now choose the guy who is rather driving or well-to-do. Is
that a metric of leadership or something like that?
No, it's because the person naturally thinks that this person knows what they are doing. They knows what they are about.
Well, you've never met this one, men who are driving cars but can't afford food. No, they don't even know they are left.
That's a topic for another day. But you see, when you see two guys, that one is looking well dressed, and you see another one that is looking like only God knows what's happening in their life, you are naturally more inclined to think that the one that is well dressed knows what life is about than what this person, or you think this person can help you more than this person can.
I get that, right? Which again begs the same scenario that the guy who took the public transport with you could be a very industrious person who simply manages his money and says that where he is in life currently and where he wants to go to, it makes more sense economically or financially to take the public transport. And the guy using the car could be somebody who makes money illegally and doesn't even know his left and right from investing and making business. So if you're using that scenario, then you're saying that ladies are prone to actually having surface judgment.
Because you see all these things, everything you just said, how do you think the person that is the woman, how do you think the woman can see all these things? It's the first appearance always matters. Right. It is after that you now get to know that this choice I made was wrong or right.
So have many women made wrong choices based on first appearance judgments?
Much like human beings. Yes. Okay.
Okay. We hear you. Well, I'm just gonna maybe conclude with this. I actually did a personal survey myself among my male circle.
Yeah.
And I asked a simple question, which was, with their partners, or hypothetically, if they had partners, would they prefer that their lady partner values them based on, or values them unconditionally? That means based on nothing, or actually values them based on specific metrics? Because as men, we have ego and we like to know that we are doing this well and we are doing it even sometimes better than others.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, all of my answers were unconditional.
Yeah.
And this was the main idea behind all of it. They were like, so if that thing if let's say it's based on a condition, if that thing was to change, or if somebody was to come along who does that thing better, or represents that thing better, doesn't mean that they will lose their partner if it's based on conditions. So funny enough, contrary to what we might think, men also love to be valued unconditionally. And there's a saying that only women and dogs are loved unconditionally in our society. Men are loved based on what they can provide and what they can do. But this is my own personal survey, and this is what was realized, that men in relationships are actually looking for unconditional value. So ladies, take note of it, that men also just want to be loved for, I don't know.
Oh, and we are ready to love you guys. We want to love you guys. Why not?
So any final words? But it was such a lovely time and session with you, wisdom nuggets from relationship therapy.
I mean, so my thing that I want to say is that we women, we are fixers, so we want to help fix something all the time. So don't take it wrongly if you come into our lives and it's like we're trying to tell you shave your beard or trim your hair or dress this way.
What are you trying to tell us?
Yeah, we have the motherly instincts in us. Okay, so don't take it like we are some way. No.
All right.
We're just like that, and we are mothers.
Okay. We are also fathers. Anyway, guys, it was lovely having you guys for this session. I mean, I'm sure we at least realized a few things about just what we have, the expectations. Maybe we had some clarity on certain misconceptions as well. But I'm sure there might be a part 2 of this, because this was so lovely.
Yes.
And as usual, we always say subscribe, comment, like, even share the link. But as at this point, we're about to go to the next part of today's session, which is the Agora Session. So stay tuned. It's about to get hot.
Oh, wow.
Okay, guys, welcome back to room 4441 / relationship therapy, right?
Therapy.
With Rafi Truth. Charlie, it's been wonderful so far. And we're about to go to the bittersweet session. The session I don't really like, where our anonymous questioner asks us some very hot questions.
I'm about to run away because
you can't run away.
Hey,
you have to finish this. So guys, if you are ready, we're also ready. Rafi Truth, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not ready, but
I was born ready.
We are ready. Okay, so anonymous.
Okay, so welcome and thank you for what you've done so far. I'm going to ask you some few questions. Some of them are scenarios. Please, we don't hold back here, so you have to answer me when I ask you the question. So, ladies first. So I'll start with Rafi Truth.
Okay.
My first question to you is that if you could only choose one quality in a partner,
yes,
would you prioritize physical attraction
yes,
or emotional connection?
Emotional connection.
Why?
I am someone that loves and appreciates the fact that you're able to relate with someone, because we'll grow old. And when we grow old, who is to know? I mean, who is to tell how the person will look like? But if we are still able to talk and communicate, I think that will keep us together.
Wow. So but anyway, please, my question. Hey, then why am I going to the gym? What am I doing all these things for?
Talking about physical attraction and emotional connection. Should is it fair for one partner to ask the other to change certain aspects of themselves for the relationship. So let's say you meet somebody, they are like
He has removed
Oh
it.
wow.
whether physically or emotionally, would you want them to change something? Is it fair to ask that they change something?
Okay, so what my answer would be is that you can't necessarily force someone to become something for your sake. However, if you have two selfless people who are looking at pleasing one another, they'll constantly be looking at ways of being better people for their partners. And I think there's a healthy place to have that expectation without necessarily making the person feel like as they already are, they are less, or they have attracted less of your love for them. So I think there's a healthy balance or a healthy place where you can meet in the middle, where someone cannot change for you, but someone can desire to be better for you.
Yeah.
And you can challenge your partner to be better without making them feel like they are less the way they are.
Okay.
I didn't hold back.
I'm thinking about it like far from that. But why did you take off this question?
The question was hot.
Anyway, it's not about change.
Okay.
It's very constant.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that I think affect relationships these days.
Yes.
I don't know. It looks like our generation, when changes are coming, we tend to
Yeah.
bounce. But I would like to know from you, because this is more pertaining to the woman, especially in the African setting.
Yeah.
So this is the scenario. So your partner expects you to prioritize their career over yours
Okay.
for the sake of the relationship.
Yes.
Would you comply or assert your independence?
So we have to sit down and talk, right? And we have to make sure that that is what is best for the relationship and not just him. Because at the end of the day, the relationship is not just about him. It's about both of us. Because if I end up giving up the career for him and I am no longer happy, the relationship is not going to last. And so it's not like I can't do it. It's something I'll willingly and gladly do for the happiness of my relationship, which is him, right? But then it has to come from a place where it is a union of one. We are together. We are doing this together for life. So if it means me giving up something for us to get better or go far or go further, why not? But if it is just for your selfish gains, then we have to really look at it again, because then it's not good for the relationship. It's not good for me.
She's a relationship therapist.
Talking about
That's a good answer.
people being selfish in relationships.
Yeah.
I think one thing that usually comes up is finance.
Yeah.
All right.
And I have a scenario for you, El.
Let me take
So
my
this
glasses
is
off
the-
I'm not the
earlier.
one on the seat.
Your partner earns significantly more than you do and wants to support you financially. Would you feel emasculated or grateful for the support?
I mean, are we married or we are dating? Because I think that affects this one significantly.
I mean, these days,
I'm so glad I'm not the one.
what people do in, let me say, relationships, whether marriage or dating, sometimes, you could see they are saying they are dating, but you could see they are very intimate.
Yeah.
And they are really supporting each other.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
they're in a marriage kind of dating.
Okay.
If there is anything like that. So it doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. I mean, just generally, it's always good to be grateful. So by default, my default posture will be one of gratitude. Definitely, I wouldn't necessarily feel emasculated. I wouldn't actually feel emasculated, but I will be. Just generally, if I'm a man, I'm trying to build something for myself as well. And the reason why I asked if it's dating or marriage context is because it's important because the context affects the response. If it's in marriage, you know that whether you're not working or you are working and earning significantly less, the money that your wife gets and the money that you get is for both of us. It's us. It's a we finance. When you're dating, it's not necessarily the same thing. So there's no place where you should be comfortable as a man and it's like, oh, my this one is supporting me. No, you have to keep pushing to be the best version of yourself. Even in marriage, but especially in dating, her money is not yet your money. And your money is not yet her money. So I feel like definitely you have to be grateful for anything that is coming, but you can't be too satisfied.
I see.
Or too comfortable.
That her money is it's not yet your money.
No, I mean, I feel like that's a very wrong.
Their money's ever ours, whether relationship or marriage.
Yes, please.
It should be, but as to whether it is, that one only Rafi Truth can answer for her people. They are not my people yet, so I don't know.
You shouldn't, how do you call it, follow up what he's saying. I mean, I shouldn't ask you a follow-up question, but this one I would.
Okay.
Are your monies our money?
Yes, please.
Some of her people will not be happy in the comments.
It's for the family. It's for the family.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so I'm coming. No, I will hit you again.
Hey,
And be hit.
why are you giving me some questions?
Talking about assets, finance, and all
Yeah.
that, there is another thing, privacy, that is also, kind of very important
Right.
in our relationship lives.
Yeah.
Especially recently that we have these mobile devices
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So I would want to know from this scenario. So your partner insists on sharing all passwords and access to your devices for transparency. Would you view it as a sign of trust or an infringement of privacy?
Why didn't you ask her this question? But I'll take it. Again, marriage or dating, but I'll answer it myself. In marriage, I think there should be no question of it. There should be no question at all about transparency. Yeah. The two, again, I'm a Bible guy, like she's a Bible girl. So we subscribe to Genesis 2, verse 20 something, or Ephesians 5, verse 20 something as well. I can't quote directly, but they're 25.
23.
That the man will leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become
25.
one. So 24. But the idea is that when two people become one, it means that, and if you read the Bible, it says that, and the man and the woman, they were both naked and they were unashamed. And that is actually reference to transparency and intimacy. A certain intimacy where I know everything about you and I have access to everything about you and you do to me. It makes sense in marriage, perfect sense. Even in dating, there should be some level of intimacy achieved as a preparation towards the intimacy in marriage. And I feel like access to because what does it mean to be private? Like if you can't share the deepest parts of your life with the one you spend the rest of your life with, then how are you one with them? And who do you want to share it with? So I believe there should be no question of that. As to dating, the level of access, I think it depends on the couple and what they want to choose. But I believe that transparency is a key thing in any relationship.
I see.
It builds trust.
Great.
Yeah.
Talking about transparency,
Okay.
Rafi, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, you try to build trust.
Yeah.
I think transparency is important because it leads to trust.
Yeah.
All right. So your partner is trying to build that trust or
Okay.
create that transparent space.
Yeah.
So your partner reveals a past infidelity
Okay.
and asks for forgiveness. Would you be willing to work through it or consider it a breach of trust too significant to repair?
I will forgive the person. I mean, there's no two ways about this.
Wait, I have like just a clarity. Infidelity, as in when they were together.
Infidelity, yes, you are together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what he did before you.
Oh, that's not infidelity. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I have a principle in this life.
Tell us.
God gave us second chances, so everybody deserves a second chance.
Preach.
It is a personal thing I have.
Preach.
And where I have come from, where I am, where I'm going to, if I am sure that this is the person I am doing life with, and I know that the person has repented of their way, I will forgive the person. I know it's easier said than done. Almost feels like I'm saying, okay, I will. So it's just like be automatic. I say it today and it's done. I will feel the hurt though, because I feel like I've been hurt. But who has not been hurt before? Plus, why did it happen? How did it happen? And everything. Listen to the side of the person. Like, you can work on it. I can work on it.
She is a strong mama.
I mean, I've said it to myself before. It's not infidelity that is going to break my marriage.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So
But
how many chances are you willing to give?
Hey.
as many as God said I should give.
7 to 7 times.
70 times. Well, see, it's not. Yeah.
I see.
It,
Your man is lucky.
Why are you saying it like he's No. Yeah, it won't happen. But
Alright, no.
that's a wonderful
That's not what
stance.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But talking about infidelity or cheating, do you get me? People, I don't know the right statement, but they tend to want to mean that if your partner knows you ain't cheating, do you get me?
Right.
Yes, if they know what you're doing,
Ah,
you are not cheating.
children of today.
Right.
So, your partner suggests exploring non-monogamous relationship dynamics like marriage, those things. All right. Would you be open to the idea or consider it a threat to the exclusivity of your bond?
I mean, you use the word exclusivity.
Don't be
Absolute haram. Absolute. I mean, God forbid. What are you saying?
It's something the two of you are exploring together. So you are free to,
Okay, so is this dating or marriage? Marriage.
Dating.
Right. So I think you use the word exclusivity, and that there's under no circumstance should that change. Under no circumstance should exclusivity change. And personally, I believe that, like, I would know if you have that kind of mindset before I marry you or not. So there's no way. I don't believe there's any way my partner. But if they ask for it, my answer is a straight up no, because there's something called exclusivity. There's something called the two shall become one. This is the 3 or the 4 or the 5. The two shall become one. To love and to hold, to all of that. So, like, the moment you want to bring somebody in, Bible says you are defiling the marriage bed. That's what the scripture says.
Right.
And I subscribe to that. So no, I absolutely like.
I know it's not my question, so I'm gonna cast out demons.
Therapy. You go for a relationship therapy.
You look like you'd be very protective and territorial.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
I mean, every man protects what is valuable to him.
Yeah.
Not just every man, every person.
Yeah.
Now, if you are valuable to me, why will I want someone else to have access to you?
I don't want to share.
In a way that only I should exclusively have access to.
Share.
That's one. And vice versa. Why will I want someone to have access to me if I know that there's a certain value that only you should have exclusive rights to? It's not territorial, or you can say it's territorial, but it's common sense.
Okay. So, monogamy, polygamy, sexual relationships.
Yes.
And it is quite easy for us to say no, because we think it is very intimate. You get me? But do we just think of intimacy when it comes to, or when sex is involved, or do we think about it when emotions and other things are also involved?
Right.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I want to give Rafi truth. a scenario.
Give it to her.
Your partner disapproves of your close male friendship.
Okay.
And asks you to sever those connections.
Okay.
Would you sacrifice those friendships for the relationship or defend your right to maintain them? Don't forget about exclusivity.
To all my friends I've ever known and loved and walked with, I am sorry, but this is a bye. No, see, nobody is a tyrant. No one that loves you is a tyrant over you. So I believe if he's telling me this, he has his reasons. Now, what has he seen? What reason have I given him for him to say that I should cut them off, right? Why is he asking me to sever ties with them? What did I do? What did they do? How much right have I allowed these people over my life? How much do I share with them? How much time do I spend with them? If these are things I can work on to make him feel better, but that is even before talking to him and saying that, okay, I think these are the things that I've noticed that are the problems, so okay, maybe I can work on them. But if I see that it's not possible at all for me to work on them, he's not comfortable with them at all being in my life, this is where we end it. We have to start a long distance relationship with them.
Bye-bye.
And it's not because I don't appreciate them. I do. But when I'm in a relationship with someone, I don't want my partner to be uncomfortable, or I don't want him to get to a point where he does not trust me. So it has to be that we've talked about it and we've come to a conclusion that it is detrimental to our relationship. So we have to end it.
Okay. So talking about things that could be, this is going to be the last round of questions.
Okay.
Talking about things that could be detrimental to your relationship, sometimes the going gets very tough.
And the tough gets going.
Like, struggling you in the relationship.
Oh,
So I have a
okay.
question for you.
Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay, you ask.
Oh, you've made me lose.
No, this was planned.
So this is it.
Ask a different question.
I got
Ask a
you.
different
I
question.
got you. So how do you feel, when the going gets tough? How do you feel about the idea of taking a break in a relationship when things get tough?
Right. First thing I would say is, love never fails. And so before you quit, you have to make sure you do everything to save what it is that you're trying to save. Now, the only condition under which I would say a break is fine, is when the break is going to contribute to the salvation of the relationship. So like a break where you're like, oh, we need some space so that we can both figure out where we are, maybe even going for therapy, which eventually you should even go for the therapy together, that kind of thing. So it's okay, we are taking a break in intimacy and in all we are doing because it's not working. So the break should be a contribution to the saving of the relationship, which means that the way you take the break will actually will be affected. Because if the perspective is to quit on the relationship, the way you take the break will reflect that. And if the perspective is to save the relationship, what you do within that break or how you approach, we are taking a break, whether you go to therapy, you go for counseling, you go and meet parents, or you bring people into it and you say, okay, we are taking a break from doing the relationship stuff for a while just to sit and do serious stuff and like save our relationship. So under those conditions, I will advocate for a break is fine, so long as it's the motive behind it is to save the relationship. Yeah.
I could see Rafi is not so happy about the answer, but
I didn't see.
but I will give her the chance to.
I wanted to say something on her previous.
No. So talking about breaks and all that, people use this word soulmate. But this is my soulmate. And ideally, if that's my soulmate, we shouldn't break, right? But anyways,
I don't believe in soulmates, so
we've seen soulmate and revealed parties. People have turned out to be monsters. But anyways, I want to ask you a question on soulmate, Rafi.
Okay.
So, do you believe in the concept of a soulmate, or do you think successful relationships are based on compatibility and effort? That is the last question for the session.
Okay.
So it starts with her and ends with her.
Yeah.
But that's just not fair. But
He asked you 2 questions
In a row.
You remember?
hey, you did that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
We are trying to teach
So you said, just to make sure I remember the question, whether I believe in soulmate.
Yes. Let me go again.
Yes.
Do you believe in the concept of a soulmate, or do you think successful relationships are based on compatibility and effort?
I'll always choose effort.
Effort and compatibility, they are together.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll choose both of them over soulmates. Reason being that people have actually misused that word soulmates. People have taken advantage of it too much, and in turn, they have lost their relationships, or they didn't even allow it to start in the first place. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing, that there must be some form of work put into it to start it in the first place. When you meet someone, you guys can vibe all you want and say that is my soulmate. When it comes
Love
to
at first sight.
but when it comes to the other side of, now something is wrong with me, let's talk, and you don't talk, it won't work. You did something, I asked you a question, and you don't want to answer, it won't work.
In fact.
When there's no sacrifice, it won't work. Compatibility is important, yes, because I mean, I can't be going this direction, someone is going this way, and say that we want to go together. I can't drag him because he won't come. It's not possible. So the reason why I don't go for the soulmate idea is because people have misused it too much. And in turn, now, whatever reason it was made for in the beginning, it has been diluted. I don't even remember where it began from anymore. So I don't believe in soulmate for that reason. If the person that's the last thing I'm going to say, if this was the person that I thought was going to be my partner for life, and God calls the person, it does not mean that in future, if God happens to give me another person, or vice versa, if God calls me and he's alive, and God gives him someone else, he should not go for the person. It's not right. No man is made to be like that.
Nice. I can see I have a lot to say.
Oh, no.
This session is
She has said it though.
over. And thank you guys for. I really liked how you guys did not hold back. Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you for your questions as well, and for the opportunity. So I think that's it. So we are closing, and it's been wonderful with Rafi Truth. Like, she's dropped some gems. Like, she's the relationship therapist, and you have to check out her channel. You have to go and listen, right?
Yeah.
But I think you can just give us a brief summary of your channel and what you do. And
okay. So as the name, implies, relationship therapy. It's just a space for you and your relationship, everything about your relationship. So for before marriage, after marriage, during marriage, and everything. Even we have a space to talk about singlehood before you enter into marriage, right? So if you have any questions, you can just pop on the channel, and I'm sure you're definitely going to get your answer. If it's not been answered yet, it's coming.
That's wonderful. So please check out the channel. We're going to definitely share it in the video, or even in the description of today's session. And as you know what we do already. You know how to do it. You know how to roll with us. Share. Like.
Let me say it for him. That's what I would say. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Bye.